Before we get out of here, because I'm sure that this video probably ain't gonna get monetized either. So we're just gonna do it like this. So last broadcast, I told you all about my walking down memory lane with Joe Biden. Well, I figured we just gonna do one better this evening. And we just gonna play this on our good closeout. You already know what the intro sounds like. So this is looking back at Joe Biden.
I'm asking for you to remember that people, even Mom, would agree with me on that.
The Southern revolt against President Truman reaches its climax at Birmingham under the states' rights banner. Venerable Alfalfa Bill Murray comes out of retirement to join in the protest against the president's civil rights program. More than 6,000 flocked to the Rump Convention to select the presidential ticket. In the forefront of the move are Alabama and Mississippi delegates who bolted the Democratic National Convention at Philadelphia. 13 southern states are represented in the uproarious session which precedes the nomination of Governors Thurmond of South Carolina and Fielding Wright of Mississippi as party standard bearers. Governor Thurmond attacks the civil rights plank.
It simply means that it's another effort on the part of the president to dominate the country by force and to put into effect these uncalled for and these damnable proposals he has recommended under the guise of so-called civil rights. And I tell you, the American people from one side or the other had better wake up and oppose such a program. And if they don't, the next thing will be a totalitarian state in the...
Y'all hear how upset he is? This is Joe Biden's mentor. This is Joe Biden's mentor when he was a young man. Also, this man speaking, for those who are unaware, and for those who don't know, the man who's speaking, Strom Thurmond, the one who absolutely, you can hear it in his voice, hates black people. He is the co-author of the crime bill. This guy's the co-author of the crime bill. Joe Biden's crime bill that he's so proud of. This guy. He wrote it with this guy. Never forget that. So, policy though. But you think them Republicans? This is long-term anti-black planning. How we gonna get around this?
The United States.
There's not enough troops in the army to force the southern people to break down segregation and admit the Negro race into our theaters, into our spring pools, into our homes, and into our churches.
Kind of funny when you think about it, because Joe Biden is the one that didn't want his kids in the racial jungle, saying that in 1977. But look at his mentor, the guy whose eulogy he gave, because they were that close. That means that they share same ideologies. Well, we know Strom Thurmond's ideology against black folks never changed. He may have publicly denounced his former connections to the Klan. You mean to tell me because he did something for a political move, black folks are supposed to think anything? See, black folks should be smarter than this today. But we have a lot of these bootlicks and tethers coming over here speaking in our spaces, trying to get folks to believe this dude ain't who he is. Yeah, this is Joe Biden. So for all of you, like I said, we just going to go ahead and do this tonight. authors of the 1994 crime bill. Anti-black since always.
Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they...
Without any conscience developing. Is that describing a savage? These are American, and you. I hope you understand the age group to which he's referring to. It's subsequently the same age group that he's having such a hell of a time with convincing to get to the polls for him. I wonder why. Oh, yeah. Shout out Deja Taylor, who was smoking weed while applying for a gun in Maryland, or no, Virginia, which it's illegal to apply for a weapon in the state of Virginia, being on drugs. Funny thing about this story is the same thing that they put Deja Taylor away for, it's actually the same thing that Hunter Biden should be going away for, because he wasn't smoking weed. He actually is on video himself smoking crack. Go figure. Literally. So, I mean, you have the video evidence. Why not prosecute? That's hogwash. We ain't got no time. Let's listen to sassy head shaking wannabe Vicky Dillard, Jasmine Crockett. Y'all have y'all figured that out by now? I was telling y'all a while ago. She's doing the Vicky Dillard routine. That's what Jasmine Crockett is literally doing. She's taking what she... Okay, so what did she do? She takes something Tariq Nasheed actually had said, and then she puts it with the little spin on it. So she basically took Tariq and Vicky and said, I'm going to be Jasmine Crockett, and y'all be watch me out here. And the next thing she going to be like, mark my words, I would not be before too long seeing her out there in Congress with her with a gavel. I just got, man. You don't think these people watch us? Y'all crazy. Yes, they do. Down to the least of us. And then some of y'all even that ain't even got videos or don't, y'all don't do things. They paying attention to what you post. Folks know who you is. Better know it. Let's hear some more of this racist.
Literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes.
Of course you do.
Because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. If we...
Man, what did Simone Sanders say? It wasn't Joe Biden's crime bill that funded or fueled mass incarceration? Sounding to me like it did.
We don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now.
Oh, there it is. Some of them will become the predators 15 years from now. "15 years from 1994. "15 years from then was your so-called first black president, first accomplishing year. With this dude as vice president. The irony of it. Then you have Trayvon Martin just a couple years later. Y'all think that maybe this and this energy fueling anti-Black sentiment over all of these years perhaps could have inspired a George Zimmerman to stalk a teenage child, hunt down and gun down a high schooler with an iced tea and some Skittles in a gated community to which you had to have access to the gated community to even be there. Why would he need to call the cops when everybody in the gated community is part of an HOA? Then you have a BS district attorney under the same administration that he's the vice president of. Watch all of these Black folks get no justice. While he's the vice president, he's watched Tamir Rice get gunned down. He just gave $61 billion to law enforcement. Going back from 1994. When has this dude been different now? I'm just confused. Just asking for sanity's sake. Does anybody know when this man has stopped being this? Because we're talking about what he's doing now with policy. Pretty much the same guy.
And Madam President, we have predators on our streets.
These people on, they are often connected to big drug cartels.
Now remember, in 2016, us Negroes had messed all of it up for Hillary because we were telling people not to vote. Why?
They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
Under the leadership.
You got to bring them to heel. So let's not even worry about why they are in the condition they're in. Yeah, screw all that. Like, we completely put them in this position by targeting, right? Because somebody understands base salaries. They understand these numbers and understand how things work. So they know what poverty brings. It's very clear. So does Joe Biden. So did Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton lost. After them DNC emails came out, when she still basically has the same sentiment for Black folks. And that is what the organization of the Democratic Party still holds dear. Benign neglect against us.
Leadership of Senator Thurman and
But no. Let me point this out. Benign neglect against us, but targeting us for legislative harm.
To bring them to heel.
Under the leadership of Senator Thurman, and I'd like to suggest that I take some small credit for it myself as well, and others, the presiding officer, that there's now a death penalty. And we passed it a couple years ago. If you are a major drug dealer involved in the trafficking of drugs and murder results in your activities, you go to death. And
yeah, you go to death. That's what you get. You're going to go to death from drug offenses because it resulted in murder. There's a case right in my neck of the woods where this guy over in Washington was breaking into somebody's home. Breaking into a police officer's home. Him and the police officer got to tussle. Some point, his wife called police. Police show up to the house. I guess they're still tussling. Police don't shoot the intruder. They actually shoot the police officer and end up killing him. Now, as it turns out, they started charging the white assailant, the intruder. They charged him with the police officer's murder because they are saying, although the police that showed up on scene executed their own, this man's stab wound to the police officer would have killed him had not been for the police executing mistakenly because of their own incompetence. But they're not held liable for his death. This man's going to away for murder because his wound on the cop would have killed him had it not been for the ignorant, dumb deputy cops that executed their own. Because clearly he had to be the assailant because the other man was white. Tell you, I come from the University of White Supremacy, family. And with that being said, that's why we have to stay on top of these things. We really have to stay on top of this stuff. Because at the end of the day, these folks know the playing field that they have put us in. They are well aware of the circumstance that they have put black folks in. So I don't want y'all to ever think that these people really give a crap about black folks. They do not.